the central street of the Georgian New Town. And this is named after George III. Coming up on the right, we've got a building with a white flag. That's the headquarters of the Northern Lighthouse Association. And they look after all the lighthouses round our coastline. But above the doorway of this building is a model of a lighthouse. And this is the Bell Rock Lighthouse, which is found up at Fraserburgh in Aberdeenshire. And this was designed by Robert Stevenson, the grandfather of Robert Louis Stevenson, the great writer. And there's the lighthouse just above the doorway there to the right. A little white light flashing in the top of it. Now we're going to turn right here. This will take us on to Frederick Street. This is named after Prince Frederick, the son of George III. In the middle of the street, very popular gentleman, this man, that's William Pitt. William Pitt the Younger, the youngest Prime Minister ever in Great Britain, was Prime Minister at the age of 24. He was also Chancellor of the Exchequer, and that's the man there that we've got to thank today for the dreaded income tax, making him a very popular gentleman. We're going to turn left with the X5s turning left at the bottom of the hill. But as we drift down to the foot of the hill, you'll see, if you look up to your right, the eastern and northern defences of the castle. There it's up there now to your right front. But that's Edinburgh Castle sitting high over the city with the Castle Rock below it. Now here we have in front of us West Princes Street Gardens. And this is the former site of the Old Nor Loch, the northern defences of Old Edinburgh. You will also see, once we pull forward and go to the left just directly in front of us, is an equestrian statue. And this equestrian statue is to the Royal Scots Greys. And this is Scotland's premier cavalry regiment, although they're now mechanised. But it's here that on Armistice Sunday that they all come down here and lay wreaths for their fallen comrades at the monument. Looking above us here, you can see the esplanade of the castle. That's where the military tattoo takes place in August, and the skyline of Old Edinburgh up there to the left. But there's the equestrian statue, West Princes Street Gardens there to the right, and towering above it, the northern defences of the castle. As we swing round the corner, coming up on the right, we'll find two art galleries, both designed in the same style, and both by the same person, William Henry Playfair. The first gallery we see here, with the statue of Queen Victoria on top, is the Royal Scottish Academy, and that's where some of the private exhibitions take place in Edinburgh, and there's sometimes a fee paid for entrance into that building. But right behind it is the National Gallery for Scotland, and that's where all the great masters are held within the city, and admission in there is free. Coming up in front of us, the Gothic Rocket, dedicated to the memory of Sir Walter Scott, one of our great writers and literary characters. The monument stands 200 feet in height and has an interior staircase of over 287 steps. So if you feel energetic, you can climb to the top, where you'll get some wonderful views out over the city. Dotted round it are various characters associated with the novels written by Sir Walter, and these are his Waverley novels. And underneath, made out of white Carrara marble, we've got the statue of the great man himself. Over to the right hand side here, we've got the Memorial Gardens, and these are being erected for Armistice Sunday. And at the beginning of next month, there'll be somebody come along here and we'll have a church service, and this is the start of remembering of those who fell in battle. But that's the Memorial Gardens you can see there over to the right. Now, once we start moving forward, if you look up to the right hand side, you will see a crown spire, which is called St Giles Cathedral, the High Kirk, or the High Church of the city of Edinburgh. The first church that was ever built up there was built there in 873. The present structure we see here today dates from the 13th century, and these are the four pillars that hold this crown spire up in the skyline. It's a very beautiful church to look at in the interior, with its many fine stained glass windows and also its many fine carvings. Admittance to the church is free, but they do actually ask for a donation for the upkeep of this church, because the church is still a living church today. And church services do in fact take place inside this building throughout the week. But you'll see the crown spire if you look now to your right, looming high over the city. The Waverley Bridge going off to the right hand side, named after the novels written by Sir Walter, and right behind it lies the Waverley Station. And this is Edinburgh's main train station today, where the trains come from the south, the north and the west. Now we're actually holding up one of the trams at the moment. It's lying up and behind us here. In case you're wondering what the trams cost us, £787 million. And they went from the airport to the city centre. They should have gone from the airport to the port of Leith, but they couldn't run the rest of it down to the port of Leith from the city centre, so they had to stop them in the centre of Edinburgh. By the time the trams started running, they were running 5